I mean, we're still looking at the severity of what the UCL looks like, how it is. We've obviously got MRI pictures, but I have to go back in today and get more later on. But, there's literally nothing that I know for sure that's set in stone.
So anything's on the table, including Tommy John, or what's your understanding?
Yeah, there's different options in terms of letting it recover, surgery, all these different types of surgeries, repair versus reconstruction. So we still haven't come to a conclusion about any of that. So still have to go get a couple more pictures on the MRIs and whatnot, and get some more opinions. But working with our medical team now, and we're still trying to come to a conclusion on what I have to do.
How does it feel today?
Yeah, it's good. In terms of walking around and stuff, I don't feel as much. It's swollen, but the minute I go to move or pick something up or whatever, there's definitely pain. I just can't use my arm for any other purposes than that. So definitely it sucks. Like I definitely injured it. So.
How much of Sunday was the adrenaline allowing you to even be out there?
Yeah, I think obviously it played a big part in that. Right when it happened, obviously my arm just went numb, and I knew something was wrong. I didn't know exactly what. I didn't know if it was just a shot that I had taken, just from the physical side of football. And all right, just let it wear off, and I'll be fine. But then it just kept going, and the minute I tried throwing, literally I knew something was wrong. I couldn't throw, and so. Obviously the adrenaline and stuff I think helped in terms of allowing me to go back in the game and hand the ball off. Even that was, pretty painful, but just overall, it just sucked that I wasn't able to throw.
At your last press conference Friday, you talked about how hard you leaned on faith and family and not getting carried away and not getting too high and low. And is that all that being put to the test now?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, with whatever I'm about to, face, in terms of coming back through injury and what people are going to say and all that kind of stuff, that's definitely a test to what I believe in and what my family believes in as well. So nothing changes in terms of what I believe or who I am, and I feel like it'll just be a good test to what I say and what I claim. So it's going to be good, and I'm excited for the journey and the road ahead. Whatever is to come, I'm just going to keep my head down and grind away, and know that God's got a plan for all of us.
Everyone was kind of in shock right after the game, but with 24 or 48 hours to process it. How do you feel about the game and just how the season ended?
Yeah, just still the same, really, just in terms of just the sadness and the frustration of, man, that's how we went out kind of mentality. It just sucks because of how good of a team that we have, and not really being able to showcase everything that we had in terms of the offensive game. It sucks, and I'm sad for the guys because of all the work and the games and the moments that we've had leading up to that moment, or up into that game, and then to go out like that, it sucks, and it's a shame for all the guys that have been here for a while, and even the guys that just got here. So it is what it is. We're going to learn from it and get stronger and be ready for next year.
How do you balance taking the time to process that sort of grief and experience of the season not ending the way you want it to versus putting it aside and starting the grind?
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely got to be some time to reflect and understand what we went through, why we went through it, how can we be better and things like that. But, also the next challenge ahead of, all right, what can we do to win for next year and finish the whole thing and do it the right way. And I feel like we did do that this year. We got to learn from this year, and we did so many great things this year, and it's just at the end some things didn't line up, and I think some things were just out of our control that we have to live with, sadly. But man, we can look at this year and be like, we understand what it looks like and what it takes to go and to get on a streak and get hot and to win big games. So we'll definitely learn from it, but there's a lot in front of us in terms of grinding and getting better.
What kind of case do you think you made to be this team starter?
You say that again?
What kind of case do you think you made this year to be this team starter going into next year?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just wanted to win at all costs. Right when the team needed me that week against Miami, obviously, for all the games that I played in and stuff, that was still my mindset, was just to win and let everything else fall into place. So for me to claim or say anything in terms of what's going to happen moving forward, that's out of my control. I'm going to do what I can to get back healthy and be ready to compete come fall, and just be ready for whatever coach asks me from them.
After the game, Fred Warner talked about how you didn't need to be sad for what you did. You're the reason that they got there. What can you say about the support of the locker room?
Yeah, I love these guys. I appreciate them. Just their leadership, and they've been through this, year after year after year, and for them to, have respect for, what I've done and the way I've handled my stuff. Like, I appreciate that about them, and I've learned so much from them. George has taken me in, and Fred and Eric, like all those guys have just shown me what it looks like to be a pro, and I appreciate them for that. They've got my back, and you can do all this talking and stuff, but it comes down to going out in the field and doing your thing and producing for the team and for the guys. And so for them to have respect for what I've done, like, I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. So it doesn't get any better than this locker room right here.
Brock, have you and Kyle had any early conversations about next year?
Can you say it again?
Have you and Kyle had any early conversations about next season?
We just sort of reflected about the season yesterday, and it was really more about what I can do to get healthy and what I have to do, when I get back and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of who's going to be a starter and who we're bringing in or any moves or anything like that, literally, like, we didn't cover any of that. And honestly, I didn't want to hear about anything. I just wanted to focus on my recovery right now and what I have to do for my arm moving forward, and that was that. So.
Brock, there's like other case studies from like these last 2 days, Brock, like other guys that may have gone through what you did, what you have, like how you did.
Yeah, it's a unique situation just because it's really like a baseball injury. With a lot of baseball pitchers, they face this kind of thing with the UCL. Guys that have this problem in football, really the quarterback situation, there hasn't been a lot of cases with it, but usually it's like a linebacker or offensive lineman, and they can just brace it up and go play. But when you're throwing, it's a different situation. But the way a quarterback throws compared to a pitcher, two different things. It's similar but more violent as a baseball player. So they're saying the recovery process could be a little bit faster as a quarterback, but definitely I've looked at guys that have gone through this kind of thing, and it's I'm just trying to find what's right, because everyone's situation is a little different, and I'm trying to find out which one's right for myself.
Brock, I know
I'll
that,
tell you one more, guys.
as you mentioned, uncertainty and guesswork, but a reported timeline out there for you is 6 months. Is it your understanding if that proves to be accurate, that would be 6 months, you're ready for full football activities, or is that 6 months like you can start playing football? Or?
Well, I think I've heard multiple things. I think in that scenario, that would be 6 months you're ready to go. I think in that scenario they said after 3 months you can start throwing and getting into a throwing program and get into a routine. I think 6 months would be like when you're allowed to just go and practice and be a part of everything. But that's a scenario, but I definitely have some other options too, so definitely gonna go through these MRI scans and make a decision hopefully soon.
Does that provide some optimism? If indeed that proves true?
If that is the case, yeah. I don't know exactly what the case is going to be yet, the final, decision. But if that is it, then so be it. I'll be ready come camp. And honestly, what matters to me most is being able to play for the season. So if that's the case, then yeah, so be it. But we'll see. I still have some options to weigh and make a final decision soon.
All right, guys.